October 6th, 2013, and this is Rachel Bruce, and right now I am loading my sewing machine, and I had went to church, and earlier I had cut quilt boxes for my quilt, and asked for a blessing, and measured, well, earlier before I went to church I measured my quilt and wanted to see how big it was getting, and it's getting pretty big, and so right now I'm in the process of expanding my quilt to make it bigger so I can finish it. So part of sewing is the American-made quilt, and the reason why I'm putting green on it is because I already used purple, because that was the fabric, the color fabric I was using. Now I'm using a nature theme, and I'm going to want to use green or some type of brown. See, this morning I did most of these big stack of cut squares, and some of people like to make diamonds, squares. It's really any shape, at least, or whatever. Pictures of mural. In this case, kind of a mural. Already a mural on it. So, the different size boxes, and so, okay. So, you could get pretty creative with quilts. Back in the old days, people saved their scraps of fabric, put it together because it's cold, and it's cold, getting cold, and this is how we're gonna adjust this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the murals and different size boxes, which you can do different types of quilts, and there's different ways of making quilts, and it just depends on the quilt maker, how they want to make the quilt. Like this is for the midsection of the quilt, and then I have some of these green. Hopefully this fits, which I learned a little bit about quilting in college. even though it wasn't a sewing class. See, this is pretty good. Sometimes people like to tie it, but other people cut it off. You always want to zigzag the sides. And voila! It's a naturistic theme. So, you want to make sure your greens fit. All American quilt. And the more advanced you get it, the more you sew onto it. Like you can make animals, trees, and stuff. Boxes, triangles, patterns galore. See this top right here, that looks good. And always got to zigzag it. Always remember to zigzag every edge so it does not ravel, whether it's quilting, making clothes, whatever you're sewing, you want to zigzag the edge because it will ravel down to the core. See? Yep, so there's a pedal underneath me that I press, whether it's soft or hard. Depending on the way I press it, it says whether it's fast or slow. This just doesn't want to stick in the needle. This is quilter's thread. And if you buy quilter's already cut fabric, it is way more expensive than if you just cut it yourself. They're $10 for the small roll, and if you cut it yourself, you're saving a lot of money. Okay, there's the line. So every time it falls out, I have to rethread it. And then I didn't zigzag this. Okay, so this, it keeps falling out. It's so frustrating. Okay, so this is my box is sewn together. Other people can get more crafty with it, but I'm just doing the boxes sewn together, and it's real pretty once it's put together. But this is my boxes put together, starting of a quilt. There's different kinds, but this is another layer of a quilt. Hopefully this stops tearing apart. Now this is my design. Can you get out of my way, please? There we go. There's the middle. So I want to sew it in the middle. This is going to make it taller. So, can you help me with that? What? That. Thank you. Now, this makes it even longer. And it's a nature theme. So it's exactly what the theme is in different fabrics. See, of course, a quilt can be a mosaic. It could be art picture. It could be different patterns. It could be the same pattern. It could be different things. It could be different cultures. It could be different days, different hand stitchings. It could be just different things put together in different squares different fabric, just different fabrics all together. If you're poor, you just have a bunch of straight cloths, you can do that too. It's just American quilt can look pretty much any way you want it to look. Right, Mom?
Yeah.
So basically you just want to have a bunch of different squares. With this one, it's naturistic angels. It's the theme I'm doing today. The artsy craftsy angels. And this and some family heirloom quilts have been in the family for hundreds of years because multiple people have made it, because they sat there hand stitching a, a picture in each square. Those are pretty popular in quilts. So you could do different kinds of things. Right, Mom?
I'm not listening. I'm trying to get things done.
And with this, like this one, I stitched an angel in the middle of a square, but I didn't hand stitch one. And my mom thinks that every haunted house has a quilt. Right, Mom?
Not necessarily haunted, just every old family has heirlooms, and they usually include quilts.
So this house don't have a, well, it has quilts, doesn't it? Didn't we used to have a quilt? Well, now I'm making a quilt. It's pretty fun because it has a mural in the middle of it. I like the mural quilt. I'm going for the mural look. Right, Mom? With the nature. And the more I'm sewing it, the better I'm getting at quilts. And this I actually wanted at the multicultural building. Okay, so I'm gonna sew this piece on my quilt. See that? And now that everybody has an idea how to do this, I haven't even talked about the backing or the batting, just the squares and sewing it. Okay, you want to not sew your finger, because I've done that. It hurts a lot. And there's a measuring right here where you want to measure 5/8 of the seam, where you measure right here is 5/8. Well, this is going to take a long time for me to sew, because I have a long way to go and stitch. I have a long way to go. I have a lot of boxes to do, and now that I brushed up with some quilting ideas, some basics on quilting, because this isn't really, there's some better quilters. This is just the info 411, but quilting is what I learned in college. I've seen better quilts, but I will be posting some information about quilts, and I will take pictures when it's done. It does look really nice for quilts, but I've seen better, and I probably shouldn't bash myself, but I am clocking out. As far as today, I had a good day at church, and I'm going to be working on this quilt longer and harder. It's almost the size of a queen, so I will get back to you later. Bye!